Everything came to a
NASCAR,
head at the infamous
cementing
Bristol
himself as
Motor
one of the
Speedway,
best drivers
a
of
track
sport.
that has a
Third race in the
reputation
Cup
for
Series
exposing
and hit
every
his magic
flaw. And
number.
for Kyle Busch, this race wasn't just another disappointing finish. It was the moment that revealed the
50
bigger
wins
issue,
and 2
a season
championships in the
completely
top level
falling
of stock
apart.
car racing on the planet.
As Busch
Before
entered the
Richard
race
Childress
weekend,
Racing for
he was sitting
2023
24th in
and onward.
points, with no top 10 finishes and a winless streak that stretched back to June 2023.
Where since
than
then,
100
only
races
trouble
without
has
a win.
found him.
That's a glaring statistic, and it highlights the immense pressure mounting inside Richard Childress Racing, especially
It is a
on the
concrete
number 8 car.
canyon and it's blind.
The
His
race
team switch
itself
brought on a
followed a pattern that
disastrous
had
and
become all too
disappointing
familiar
twilight
this
era
season
to
for
a
Busch. He spent most of the day buried in traffic, struggling with pace, and unable to make any significant progress.
The beginning stages
The
to
car
what would
just
become,
wasn't
but not for
performing.
the
He
reasons
was
you might
completely
expect.
out of rhythm,
While Busch
with
was in the
nothing
middle of
working in
another
his favor.
Pocono
By
to
lap
extend his streak of
313,
having a win every
disaster
season to
struck.
17.
Riley Herbst made contact with Busch's left rear, sending the number 8 car spinning out in traffic.
Of NASCAR,
But what happened
collecting
after
4
that
wins
was
across
far
a
more
part-time
telling.
Xfinity season and
After
just
the spin, Kyle Busch remained completely silent on the radio. Not a word.
Gibbs himself
This silence
and Ty
spoke
Gibbs,
volumes,
who was
especially
slated for a
given
full
that Busch is known for being a vocal and emotional driver, especially when things go wrong.
2023.
Meanwhile, Derek
On the business
Nealand,
side
the
of things,
spotter, tried to
irreversible
calm the
bars
situation
or
down,
M&Ms
saying,
would be
"We're
gone
running
at the
30th,
conclusion of
but
2020.
yelling won't fix it. We need to stay together." That was a huge red flag.
Been
It
accustomed
wasn't
to
just the car
receiving
that was the
since all the
problem.
way back in
It was the
2008.
environment inside the team. The frustration was evident. Nealand was trying to maintain some sense of unity,
Financially,
but
it'd
there
be
was
difficult
clearly
for
a
Gibbs
lack
to
of
be able to
communication
re-sign
and a
him.
breakdown in morale. And then it got worse. Jim Pullman, the crew chief, was visibly
Without Busch taking a
frustrated,
major pay
questioning
cut.
everything over the radio,
An extension
asking
for the
why the
drive
car wasn't
before a
responding and why it
bombshell
couldn't
soon
turn into
dropped
the
on the
corner.
NASCAR
When
world.
Nealand responded that he couldn't fully diagnose the issue from the spotter stand, Pullman lost it again. This wasn't
clear
normal
choice.
communication.
The second
it
I
was
sat
panic
down
and
with him, I knew
desperation. A
the
team falling apart in real time. Then came the real telling moment. Under caution, Nealand
for
once again
championships
tried
from
to
day
rally
one.
the team together.
So
We're
now
still in
for
the
the moment
race.
you all
We need to stay united, he said. But when he asked, "Do you copy?" Pullman
to welcome
responded with
North
just
Carolina
4
to drive
words
the
that
number 8 car for
encapsulated
Richard Childress
everything.
Racing.
It's the same thing every week. That wasn't just frustration. That was someone losing faith, losing
Kyle
belief
Busch
in
would
the
be
process.
returning to Chevrolet
And
to
through
drive
all
Richard
this,
Childress'
Kyle
number.
Busch said nothing. Not during the spin, not during the argument. His silence was
After a
deafening.
truck race all the way back in
When a
2011,
driver like Kyle Busch,
only
a
adding on to the
two-time
shock.
champion, remains silent in moments of crisis, it tells you exactly where his mindset is.
The
He
RCR
finished
8
the
car had
race
already
in
been to
26th
victory lane
place,
2 times in
multiple laps
NASCAR's
down, and yet again outside the top 10. Another race, another disappointing result.
struggling
Another.
team in the
This
mid to
wasn't
late
just a bad
2010s
race.
and early
This was the season
2020s.
encapsulated in a single event. No top 10 finishes, 24th in points, and 2 straight
2021,
seasons without
a number
making the
Busch had beaten
playoffs.
himself
A
many times
winless
over.
streak that's now more than 100 races long. That's not a slump. That's a serious problem, especially for a driver of Busch's caliber. And it's clear that what we heard on the radio
For the
wasn't
teams in the
just a
sport,
single frustration.
Busch was poised
it
to
was a
prove in
signal of much
2023.
deeper issues within the team. There are real cracks inside the number 8 team right now. Kyle Busch's
Doubted his
contract runs
swap.
through 2026 with Richard
RPR,
Childress
baby.
Racing.
Goes to
But now the question is becoming increasingly real. If things continue like this, why would either side compete? Busch didn't need Joe Gibbs Racing to run in the mid-20s every week. A driver of his level still has options, and those options are beginning to look
I
a
think
lot
it
more
ranks
appealing,
high just
especially
because it
considering
ranks to the
what we've
fact
seen
that
this season. Expert One, a NASCAR analyst, mentioned, when a driver like Kyle Busch
For well
can't
over a
find a rhythm
decade,
at Bristol,
Kyle Busch
that's
spent
more
his
than
weekends
just a bad
dominating
race.
everything you
This
can
is a symptom of a deeper issue. Team communication, car setup, and even morale.
have ever
It's
seen.
not just the car that's the
Kyle
problem.
Busch in
Busch's
his Joe
future
Gibbs
at
Toyota is
RCR
gonna
is
win
now
his fifth.
uncertain. He didn't make the move to Richard Childress Racing just to finish outside the top 20 every week.
200
He's a champion,
in Southern
and champions
California.
don't settle for
He had
mediocrity.
amassed over
The frustration from the crew chief and spotter is palpable, but it's also telling. Expert
making the
2,
shocking
a
decision
former
to
spotter
leave
said,
his longtime home at
silence
Joe
from a
Gibbs
driver
Racing
like Kyle
to
Busch is a
Jordan,
huge red
a team
flag.
that would be considered
When a
a step
driver
down
doesn't
from what he had
communicate
been
during
used
the
to
heat of the
driving for.
moment, it signals a breakdown not just in strategy, but in their mental state. That silence is powerful, and that mental state is key. Kyle Busch is a driver who thrives on communication and momentum. When he's silent, It's not just a breakdown of strategy, it's a breakdown of belief. Expert
does.
3, a crew chief, added,
career,
when you've
and
got
will
a
he
crew
ever be
chief
able to
screaming
find his
over
way
the
back to
radio and a
victory lane
driver
in the
not
Cup story
responding,
of how
that's a
Kyle Busch
serious
fell off
breakdown in
began
team
taking
chemistry.
place in
These are signs of a
2021.
larger issue, not just the car setup but the internal communication. The lack of communication
Stellar season
isn't
driving
just
the
about
18
technical
car,
issues,
with wins
it's
at
about the
Kansas
mindset
8
of the
years in a
entire
row.
team.
A new Joe
The
Gibbs Racing
environment
prospect was
inside
thriving in his
RCR is
first taste.
strained, and that's affecting the performance on the track. And then we come to the contract situation. Kyle Busch's contract runs through 2026. But if this continues,
18
why
years
would
old,
RCR
and
keep
just so
him?
happened to
And
be
why
the
would Busch
grandson
stay?
of Joe City season
Expert
in
4,
2022
a NASCAR
to prepare
journalist,
himself for the
stated,
Cup Series,
Kyle
hopefully
didn't
thwarted
leave
in late
Joe Gibbs Racing
2021
to
that long
languish in the
time,
mid-20s.
and iconic
If he
sponsorship
continues
partner
struggling like this, we could see a breakup between him and Childress Racing before 2026.
22,
That's a
leaving
very real
behind a
possibility
gaping hole in
now,
the
and with every
sponsorship money that
disappointing
Joe
race
Gibbs
result,
Racing get from
that
M&Ms.
possibility grows
And with Busch's
stronger.
pedigree earning him one of the
So,
top salaries in
what needs to
the
change?
without a
For
sponsor
Kyle
pouring
Busch
millions
and
into
his
the
team to
18
turn things
car,
around,
or over in
they need to
team
find
looked less
speed,
and less
fix
likely across the
communication,
summer months of
and start building
2022.
momentum. Expert 5, an engineer, pointed out, the car setup isn't the only issue. The communication between the driver, crew chief, and spotter is broken. If they don't fix that, no amount of speed adjustments will matter. This is more than just fixing the car. It's about fixing the culture within the team.
I'm excited to
The
announce
pressure
that I'll
is
be taking
mounting
my
with every
talents.
race. If they don't find a way to reset, this could mark the beginning of the end for this
Starting in
partnership.
2023.
Expert
I'd like to
6,
introduce you to my
a
new
former
boss,
driver,
Richard Childress.
emphasized,
car.
in
The same
NASCAR,
man he had
there's
gotten into a
always a
physical
chance for a
altercation
turnaround,
with the
but it
NASCAR
takes
fan
more
base
than just
felt after
performance.
seeing this.
It takes
Luckily
mental
for Kyle
toughness
Busch,
and clear communication. Without that, it's over. The team has time to turn things around,
new
but it's
next-gen
quickly
car
running
this
out.
season. A
Expert
sudden change
7,
of pace for
the
what
team
was
owner,
with
made a
Richard Childress
crucial
Racing
point.
having just 4
When you
wins
have
from
a driver like Busch who
2014
is mentally
all the way
checked
through
out,
driving in
the
the
team's
18.
future is on the line.
However, with
If they
NASCAR's
don't turn
next-gen
it
car
around soon,
leveling
it
out
could
the
be over
playing
for
field, that
everyone
him going
involved.
to RCR
This isn't
wasn't a
just
career
about performance
ender,
on the track,
quickly
it's about the
silencing
entire
anyone
team's
That's
future.
right. How
And if
about
things
your
don't change
RCR
soon,
and
this partnership
everybody
might
giving
come to an
everything
end
that went
earlier
in with
than
the
anyone
move and the change in
expects.
teams.
With the
Where does
season
this
still
one
not
rank?
halfway over, the question remains, can Kyle Busch and Childress Racing turn things around? Or is this already the beginning of the end? Every race will now feel like a turning point. The team needs a massive shift, not just in performance, but in their entire approach. Only time will tell if they can find a way to reset, or if this will be the end of an era at Childress Racing.